It's Monday, 5 o'clock, and it's a Gisela show. I am Gisela Di Carlo, a classical homeopath and know it all. But I really do research most of what I tell you. And whatever I do tell you, you can really rely on. I will never, ever tell you anything that I have not researched. And I don't know that it is so much to a difference of what other people are doing. Many people seem like they just talk. They just need to fill whatever hour or half an hour or whatever they have. It's not so here. You can ask questions. I would like you to participate. And first, we're going to say hello to Amnan, our producer, who is generously putting the time in to for
Enough,
you
enough,
to
enough,
get
enough,
the
enough, enough,
information.
enough. Good
Enough?
afternoon. Good afternoon. You look like you're in a great mood. I love it.
I am.
Yep,
I
that's
am.
good.
Because I
That's
found some really great information.
good. So we'll get to it and we'll just let everybody know that if you want to ask questions, make comments, 919-518-9773 or Computers 2K Voice if you want to use Skype. Of course, you're always encouraged to log into the chat on the page that you're watching now. And if you're not watching it on the nissancommunications.com website, no, you're not going to have a chat. So come over and log into the chat and participate.
Yeah. This should be an interactive show, and you don't have to really register or anything. We don't keep your email. We don't have to, if you want to put your dog's name in there and ask a question, that's fine too. Okay? So I have some great information for you for the summer because, in the summer we travel a lot and we are out more. And this year, apparently, they estimate more road travel than any other time. One of the reasons for that is because we always want to take our pets with us. I mean, everybody that I know who has a pet, they kind of, except if you have, let's say, a Great Dane and you have a very small car, that might not be such a good idea. But if you have a regular sized dog and you want to take your dog or even your cat with you, then you should, because they need a vacation too. They need to go someplace else too. But one of the things that I find is always overlooked is pet insurance. Now, I'm not selling pet insurance. I'm not even an advocate of insurance. But I find pet insurance to be more useful now than ever. The main thing for that is if you don't have a homeopath in your neighborhood that you can, treat your pet. My pets don't go to a vet because I treat them myself. But if you don't have that luxury, then you need to go and see a vet, and you need to have some pet insurance because vet bills can be astronomical. Anybody who has a dog or a cat knows that. For anything, even for regular shots, it can be $200, $300, $400. And pet insurance often picks that up. And it's not expensive pet insurance. I've researched that a little bit. You can get pet insurance for like $20 a month. But there are a few things that you have to definitely consider when you purchase pet insurance. One thing is you know that you have to look up what is covered. And much of the pet insurance is a little bit confusing because they don't always tell you what the deductibles are. They don't always tell you all the things that is covered, and they don't always tell you of which vets really, and they just tell you, oh, well, it's accepted by most vets. Well, most vets may not be the vet that you need to take your animal to. So make sure before you purchase that you, if I hope you have a pencil and paper there. All the ones who are my regulars, they know that they have to have a pencil and paper there to jot down notes. Here are a few pointers for you when you look at pet insurance, and you can Google it. There's several pet insurance companies. uh, you need to you need to look for a policy that allows you to use any vet whatsoever. So if you're going with your pet to California and you live on the East Coast, you want to be able to use your pet insurance there. Pet insurance differs from human insurance that you typically pay the vet directly and get reimbursed by the insurance company. Pet insurance that reimburses you based on the actual vet bill as opposed to a benefit schedule. Make note of that, because many have a benefit schedule and they only pay X amount of dollars. So you will not get reimbursed the entire amount. An easy claims process that you can just send in the bill and you get reimbursed. Look for apps online for claim processes, and avoid the physical form. That means the physical form is they send you a form, you fill out that form and send it down. It's just way too much problem. They do have, many of them have AAA discounts. So if you are a member of AAA or AARP, I know there is an AARP pet insurance also. You might want to, consider that. That might be like a 10% discount for your premium. You also want to look for limits on benefits. Look for companies that have no annual or lifetime limits on the dollar amount they will be paid to cover your vet bills. If your pet suffers a serious injury or illness, you'll be glad your coverage doesn't have a cap. So make sure that you investigate that beforehand. And also of coverage exclusions. Many people forget that part. So find out if there are any exclusions, like, for instance, hereditary conditions, species conditions. Some insurance will not cover, let's say, a pit bull. Okay, so make sure that you investigate that beforehand. What else is? Well, that's really pretty much so. Also, if the company has a wellness coverage, many of the pet insurance now have a wellness coverage, and that is really useful, because let's say you want to keep your pet always up to date with all the shots, with all the teeth cleaning, the paw inspection where they cut the toenails and all of that. Now, many companies will give you either partial return on that or all. They will also then, if you have done that to your pet, that you have provided this program and you have the insurance sees that you have taken meticulous care of your pet, then they will process a claim faster. They will also give you some discounts. So research pet insurance just as diligently as your own insurance. You know, we know that health insurance right now is in a precarious situation, and I don't even want to comment on all of that yet because I'm really somewhat disgusted with it, but I'm sure all of you are too. And that's why we have homeopathy. We don't need that. We don't need insurance because we can treat ourselves. Now, one other thing is that is very, very important at this time of the year. Has not really much to do with pets, but indirectly, yes. Um, Many of the medical prescription drugs that you take, they cause different side effects. So let's say you decided to visit Aunt Muriel on the East Coast and you're in California. And that's a, what, 4 or 5 day trip if you drive straight through. If you if you decide to dilly-dally around, see the country a little bit on the way, it's going to be longer. So you're taking your prescription drugs can affect you differently when you are driving, let's say 6 to 8 to 10 hours a day. And I have noticed that on me too, that I'm a real trooper. I mean, I love to drive my camper and I love to drive long distances. But when I do, I know that, for instance, driving at night with my contacts in, the glare from the other cars, oncoming cars, especially if they have the headlights on in the evening, can be really distracting. So you may want to put on your glasses at night and take your contacts out. I have resorted to that and it works much better for me. Another one is also that if your gas pedal is not in the right position, and it might be a right thing for shorter trips, like say 2 or 3 hours, you get out, you're a little stiff, yeah, but it's okay. But if you drive longer hours, even if you take breaks, that can lead to muscle cramps. And if you then take a prescription drug, yet, let's say a blood thinner, or you're taking a psoriasis medication, or you're taking something for anxiety. Many people have high anxiety when they get on the highway. And when they have all these big trucks coming bearing down on them and so on, and it's a cause for anxiety. Let me tell you, when I'm in our little car, it's like a little sports car, and I drive down the road and these big trucks are bearing down on me, my heart skips a beat occasionally, like, whew, I hope this guy is wide awake in there and doesn't make a little whoopee over to my side and blows me away. So, but if you do take medications like that, even a homeopathic remedy, it might make you a little, maybe a little woozy. Also, if you drive and you do not take sufficient breaks, and I would always suggest a minimum of an hour and a half, 2 hour driving, 10, 15-minute break at a minimum. Okay. If you have your pet with you, you have to, because they have to get out and they get crampy. But you can get, with your gas pedal, you can get severe cramps in your legs. I have a gas pedal in one of my cars that if I'm in that for longer, I mean, I get a cramp in my buttocks. And, I have to, and that you might not be able to get off the road right away. So fix all of that before a long road trip. Don't think, oh, I'll muscle through it. Okay. Um, if, for instance, you have, don't, when you go on long road trips, I would urge you to take a lot of water. Now, that is for car trips, that is for airplane trips. Take a lot of water with you. Drink as much water as you can, because that will keep your system really hydrated. It will stop you from having any kind of nausea or wooziness or dehydration. That all comes with dehydration, by the way, and for your pet also. So always a lot of water. Now, many of us, I know me, I get, let's say I drive 6 hours and I'm finally saying, okay, I'm going to pack it in. I'm going to find a nice place where I can have dinner and park the van and go to sleep. Well, I'll have a nice, delicious dinner, big dinner somewhere, and I'm all revived. I'm all whew, wonderful. You know what? I'll drive another 2, 3 hours. That usually bites me. That usually bites me, because after about an hour and a half of driving, you start usually to get very drowsy. Don't do it. I'm telling you all of these things from experience, not of something that I read. I have done it all. So don't. If you have a big dinner or a big lunch, stop for a few hours or stop for the day. Do not drive on right away. During the day when you're driving and you want to just travel, unless you want to go on leisure trips and you say, okay, I'll go 2 hours there and I'll go and visit this cathedral, or I visit this monument and I hang out and maybe I go on for another 2 hours or not, that's okay. But if you seriously want to get somewhere driving, don't. Airplane, same thing. You go from east to west, and I really don't think it's such a bad thing that they don't serve these crappy meals anymore. Now you can bring your own salad, have a salad, have some water, and if you know they don't provide a pillow, bring your own small little pillow, nap out. Before you know it, you're there. Same thing with a car trip. Light food, light food. Same thing for your pets. Don't really give them any food until you're at your destination for the day. Okay? So I hope that helps some of them. It's some useful information, don't you think, Amnon? And
Oops, I
Amnon
forgot. No,
left.
no, I'm here. I forgot that
Oh,
it was down. I'm sorry. Yes, it's
oh, I
very
thought you went
useful.
for dinner.
It's absolutely useful. And when you're talking about what pet insurance, we had to take Gaia to the vet just for her to be checked to see if she can start on heartworm medication again. Because
Right.
we give her like every other month or so. And they say, well, we need to do a full panel. It was 400 and
Oh,
some dollars.
I know.
I
I
mean,
know.
Kathy came back and she said, I said, for what?
Yeah.
You know, but you can't
Yeah.
buy that stuff. You have to do that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
So,
it's
absolutely.
really, it's definitely a good idea for pet insurance now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you are like me, you're a homeopath and you can treat your pet yourself.
Well, we have it.
But
We have it for illness and accident. We don't have for well-being.
good.
It's way too expensive.
It is expensive
Yeah.
for illness and accident. It is affordable. May I ask of? I don't know what I looked at like about 2 years ago for pet insurance when I was more into that. Uh, at that time, you could buy pet insurance for $20 to $40.
It
Is that still
it's
like that?
about for illness and accident. It's about 380 a year.
Well, that's not bad.
No,
That's not bad at all.
I mean
That
for
is,
well-being, it's
yeah.
about 900.
Yeah. Well, but 300, one visit
That's
for
correct. Yeah,
shots
you're
and so
right.
on.
Yeah,
You
you're
got
right.
that out.
You're right.
Yeah. So I hope that the pet insurance people listen to this of what a plug we gave them. But I I, I really do believe in that because uh, the amount that you pay today is just over the top for vets. Okay. Well, let's get to another subject that has also to do with travel. And one of the subjects is back pain. I mean, I have had people lately, clients, seems like every second one has neck pain, neck and back pain. Now, as you know, homeopathy is really for everybody a different remedy. So if I give you hypercarium, your sister who has also neck pain may not need hypercarium, but she may need Arnica montana, or she may need Kali Carb, or she may need Simifugia. If you really need to find, you need to read the remedy symptoms, and you can find that easily on the internet. And if you don't, go to a homeopath, interview them, find out, but always there again, find out where the homeopath trained, how much training they had, how much success rate. My success rate is between uh, 65 and 85. There is no homeopath or no doctor that give you a 100% success rate. There is not. I mean, you might as well put that out of your mind. But 65 to 85 is really it's in the upper echelon. Most of the time I'm right. Most of the time I find the right remedy right away. Um, Sometimes it doesn't work out right away. But then I keep searching, and that why my success rate really has gone up quite a bit, because I then look for another remedy that would complement the first one, because I never ever give the wrong remedy right away. Okay. So let me tell you of what are the different remedies for back pain. One of the best remedies, two of the best remedies that I know for back pain are hypercarium and rhus tox. And let me read you what the specifications for rhus tox are. And it is a polyquest remedy, so even if you have that, you can use that for other problems that you may occur. Like, you go on the side of the road and you sit and urinate into poison ivy. That may be a little painful when you're driving, and you would want to have rhus tox with you. So, but for back pain, the characteristics are that the pain arises from muscle strain due to overstraining or overstretching from lifting heavy objects. It worsens while rest and feels relief from walking or motion. Also, in cases where the back pain gets better with heart pressure, rhus tox is the appropriate choice for medicine. If I go on a long road trip, that's the remedy that I'm going to take with me, because what do? I sit in the car, and I'm pretty much so motionless unless you move around. You can't really move around very much when you're driving, So you would also want to have rhus tox. But rhus tox really works best on lower back pain. Not so neck pain. Neck pain and upper back pain, Rustax does not do a whole lot for that. But what does do a whole lot for that is like, for instance, with neck pain. If you have a pinched nerve in your neck or you have a chronic uh, stiff neck, or you turn your head and it crickles and crackles in there, that is a good indication that your vertebrae are starting to close up around that little bit of disc that is in between the vertebrae, and that's why it crickles and cracks in there. So what you want to do, and then you have an impinged nerve very quickly when you really feel like you can't move your neck anymore and it goes down your arms and you have tingling in your hands. For that, really, semifuga racemosa, semifuga racemosa. It's pain sensitive in neck, worsens of pain with pressure. You know, you put your hand there and it seems like it doesn't make it any better. It seems like it makes it worse. The symptoms are usually tingling and aching in shoulders, down the shoulder blade. The whole upper body gets a little stiff. Okay, that I would absolutely advise semifuga racemosa. Now, if you have a hip problem, um, many people have hip problems now. And when you are driving in a car, hip problems can get very, very bad. The pain might extend to the hip along the sacrum back. Walking and stooping increases the pain. For some persons needing Aesculus hippocastanum. Aesculus hippocastanum. It's horse chestnut, really. But horse chestnut, the herbal remedy, it does not really do the same thing as the homeopathic remedy. As you guys know, homeopathic remedies are made differently and they use minusculous um, herbs in there. There's just a drop and it just gives the body a little nudge to be to help itself. Um, Intense stiffness is observed in the sacrum and hip region along with pain. I have a I have a mechanic that has a terrible hip problem, and I have him almost rightened with this remedy, Aesculus hippocastanum. Um, what else is arnica is also always good to take with you. And here's arnica. Let's say you you God forbid you have an accident. Take a dose of arnica right away. Also, many people when they sit long hours, they may get a pain in their legs if they have varicose veins. Reason being is that the blood stagnates when you're sitting, especially in an airplane or in a car for many hours, and you don't get up. That's why always, always, always make frequent stops in between. And if you travel in an airplane, get up. I always try to get an aisle seat. I mean, window seat, you don't see much anywhere. They fly at such high altitudes now. But if you have an aisle seat, you don't have to bother anybody. You can get up 20 times during the flight, and it's not going to be a problem. But you have to. You also should wear, if you have varicose veins, you should wear either road trip or plane trip, you should wear elastic stockings that hold the tissue together, increase lymph flow and blood flow to the upper regions of the body. Okay. What else we have? Here we got a good one. Cobaltum. Cobaltum is used where pain in the back is worse in the sitting position. The pain usually radiates from the lower back down the legs and feet. Weakness in the legs may be felt. Walking may relieve the back pain. Cobaltum and phosphorus. Phosphorus is also, I've talked about phosphorus before. Phosphorus is indicate when prolonged sitting leads to back pain. Weakness in the back may also be felt. Burning sensation in the spine is another feature that may be attended. So you can see those are remedies that you can use for to alleviate any pain or discomfort that you may have. We have another one here. Uh, well, Cupromet is a good one if you have leg cramps. If you get a leg cramp by driving or sitting for a long time, first of all, you don't try to get up because but especially if you have a cramp in the calves. If you have a cramp in the calves, then most people try to put down the toe part first. Don't do that. Try to really make an effort to put the heel down first. If you put the heel down first, the cramp will be relieved immediately. But Cupromet is a fabulous remedy for that. So have that in your little kit and take a dose, and you will not be in pain. What do we have here? Radiating from the legs. Colosynthesis is back pain radiant down the limbs on the left side. Yes. Colosynthesis. Colosynthesis is that I give also to dogs often that have these hip problems. If they have an older dog that has hip problems, colosynthesis is a very good remedy for those dogs, and also very good for you because it helps to relieve the pain that can be radiating down the limbs, and especially on the left side. Do you have any questions, Amnon? I know that you're always into what alleviates pain, as we all have.
I'll let you know if we do.
Okay. No, but I meant you personally, because I know that you.
Oh. Yeah, Kathy told me something the other day. I had a cramp in my thigh.
Yeah.
And I know if you don't hydrate yourself enough, you can do that. But to get rid of it real quick, she said, just eat some mustard. Yeah. And I took the thing of mustard and I stuck it in my mouth just like you do with the cheese thing, no, the whatever, whipped cream, and I took a mouthful, and sure enough, like 5-10 minutes later, the cramps were gone. And Absolutely. Of course I drank and it wouldn't come back. But she said that she read it somewhere that if you take just regular mustard, it does it.
Absolutely, it does. It does that. And also, if you happen to have some apple cider vinegar will also. But the best way is, because, I mean, I don't know how I find having a mouthful of mustard, I find that a little nasty.
Oh, it was
But
fine. No, I had no problem with it. It was much better than the pain.
then the cramp. Now, if you have in your kit, I know you have cupromet.
Yes, I mean I
Oh,
know. Yeah, but when it's happening right there, you don't want to start reading. You just want to get something that will get rid of it. And she said, I
get
said,
rid of it
yeah, I'll
right
try
away.
it. What the heck?
Yeah. My
Yeah.
husband used to get it all the time. We would be sitting watching television, and all of a sudden he would go, ah,
Yep.
he would
Yep.
get it in his thigh,
Yep.
and it would be so bad that I mean, I found him at times on the floor.
Mm.
It was so bad until I started giving him every day cupromet, but also with a large glass of water. And
Well,
the water is
yeah.
more so beneficial than really maybe the mustard
Right.
is, the water.
Yep.
Many older people forget to drink.
We forget a lot
And
of stuff.
well, yeah, yeah, but they very true, very true. But drink, hydrate,
Yep.
especially when you're traveling. Okay? It's a must. Always have. But then again, there's also again I had a girlfriend here who was drinking every day. I mean, two big liters like this. Well, she spent most of her time in the bathroom.
Oh well, yeah.
Not a good idea either, because you can overwork your kidneys this way.
Yep.
So you have to really, and there's no hard and fast rule. There is not. It is not. 8 glasses or 10 glasses of water uh, with 8 ounces each, or 4 ounces each, or what, 2 ounces each. Uh, no, if it's 2 or 4 ounces, 8 glasses of water, which should be sufficient for anybody. But if it's an 8 ounce glass, a big tall glass, and you drink 8 of those a day, you might be overworking your kidney, and that's not a good idea either. So
Right.
if you then take a lot of herbal or vitamins, you just pee them out. You just have very expensive urine, and not a good idea. But that's the other side of the spectrum.
Yep.
You do need to drink the water. All right. Well, my friends, I hope you enjoyed it. There is a little box, all my listeners. Please rate this show. Tell me of how you liked it. Um,
Don't don't
because,
don't be shy, because we don't ask for your email address. We don't ask who you are. It's all anonymous.
yeah. And we do want to bring you information that you like and that you find valuable. So if you at least rate us there, we would appreciate it. We thank you. And I wish you a fabulous week. The Here in the East, apparently we are going to have a gorgeous week. Humidity is pretty much so gone. We have cool evening nights in the 60s and days in the 70s and 80s. And I find
Wow.
that just super perfect weather,
Wow. Nice.
you know? Yeah. And hopefully, and anybody connections with the mechanical god in the sky, please tell them that I want my camper done soon, because it's still not done.
It will.
So so please send up some good say, have Gisela's campus done soon. So I can bring you reports from the road, and I can bring you also reports of what I encountered and what I experienced. So for now, I say goodbye. Next Monday, 5 p.m., right here, The Gisela Show. Bye bye. Bye bye, Amnan.
Talk to you.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. If you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it in the archives section at nissancommunications.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and like us on Facebook. Sponsored by Telestream's Wirecast software, StreamingGear.com, Carolina Apparel, and DeltaForce.net.